as the 2023 season is only a few days away, let's talk about some of the major roster cuts for your team and what is happening with these players. Are these players? Who's cut? Who are the major issues? Let's talk about it and get going.
Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished?
Welcome back to Football Barbie, where I talk about anything and everything football. So, as the season's about to begin, I will be doing highlights and recap videos along with my predictions every single week that I will be posting on Friday mornings. Except for this week, we're going to have one video coming out for the first day of football if you are watching this, and then every single Friday morning, I will put out a video about the season and predictions along with Thursday's night game recap, and then Tuesday morning I will put out a video about all of the games from Sunday and Monday, highlights and everything, what to get ready for the week to come. So let's start talking about the roster cut and the biggest takeaways going in for that. So the Jonathan Taylor feud is still going on with the Colts. The Colts had allowed Taylor, who wasn't happy, to go for a trade. But now they're putting him on the sidelines. He is yet to practice since returning from his ankle surgery. Colts are putting him on the PUP list, which means that he will miss at least 4 games for the season. It is definitely going to lead to some issues with the running backs, and now they have to wait for the October 31st deadline. So is Jonathan Taylor going to play at all this season for the Colts? What team is he actually going to go to? He has looked at other teams. It seems to be slightly a hush-hush situation. I think it was maybe the Dolphins are looking at him and somebody else. But let's actually kind of figure out like what's going on and where are things going to go with him. Next. Are the Cardinals trying to lose on purpose? So they cut their veteran backup, Colt McCoy, who is still a free agent now, and they put Kyler Murray on the PUP list. So, like I said, makes him miss at least 4 games. So either rookie Clayton Tune or new reserve Joshua Dobbs, who arrived recently via trade under center. So no wonder many people are starting to speculate whether or not Arizona is really gunning for those draft picks for the 2024 season. Do you think they're really trying to get like the top draft pick? Because I feel like they really messed up in this year's draft. Next up, you got my GM, Howie Roseman, with the Eagles. He loves to bolster his depth with low risk, high upside swings, and he added 2 new people. Ex-Colts corner Isaiah Rodgers, who was suspended. If you check out my previous video about the gambling, he got suspended for the entire 2023 season. Also, tight end Albert. I'm not even going to say his last name. I will put it on the screen. He's a former big-bodied Broncos pass catcher. So, obviously, they're not really playing. Rodgers is not really playing right now, Isaiah Rodgers, because he's suspended. However, you do have the tight end, so let's kind of see what happens there. Next, you have the Bears, Chicago Bears. They're taking a chance at quarterback number 2. After cutting both Nathan Peterman and PJ Walker, who got a $2 million guarantee to back up Justin Fields in the spring. Chicago is gambling on only Tyson Bagnet, an undrafted rookie out of Division II Shepherd, as Fields' backup quarterback. Chicago is really gambling. I feel like that Fields is going to be healthy all season. You really should never just have maybe one backup QB, let alone a backup QB who you don't really know what's going to happen, because are you just kind of throwing away your whole season? What happens if he sucks and your main quarterback is hurt? You're going to scramble to find a third? So let's see how that goes with them. Next up, you have Buffalo Bills doing the same thing, rolling the dice at quarterback number 2 as well. Veteran backup quarterback Matt Barkley is headed to injured reserve with an elbow injury, sidelining him for at least 4 games. They only then have Kyle Allen, the ex-Washington and Texans backup, behind Josh Allen on their depth chart. Do you think that Josh Allen's going to be healthy the whole season? I mean, he's done pretty well doing so far to be healthy during his seasons. However, I don't know. These teams are not doing the best here with these quarterbacks. A lot of them, like next, Dolphins roll the dice at quarterback number 2. Miami in the offseason really should have had done a better job trying to get a backup quarterback for Tua. We all know last season Tua had concussion issues, which made him miss quite a bit of games. If he is to remain healthy, Tua is definitely a force to be reckoned with in the NFL. However, he unfortunately got himself hurt. So Miami's backup quarterback is the ex-Jets reserve, Mike White, who was fresh off a concussion and an uneven summer. So your backup QB had a concussion. Your main quarterback has a concussion or has had the concussions. So, the only other quarterback on their roster is a 2022 7th rounder, Skylar Thompson. So Tua has a ton of pressure on him this season to remain healthy. I'm not sure if he's capable of doing so. Next up, you have Mac Jones. He needs a backup quarterback. So New England decided to one-up those in their division by carrying 0 backups on their initial 53 roster. So cutting not only undrafted rookie Malik Cunningham, but 2022 fill-in Bailey Zapp. They need another veteran soon to help out Jones in case he does run into some issues within a season. I mean, look at poor 49ers Brock Purdy. Got his elbow injured and then had to miss the games. I mean, the 49ers went through 3 quarterbacks, well, at least 3 quarterbacks for their season this year. The biggest names available are Carson Wentz and now Colt McCoy, as I said, that the Cardinals released him. You then have the Panthers receiving help at wide receiver. So Panthers acquired speedster Amir Smith-Marset, who went off downfield in preseason for a swap of late picks. So he is a solid low-risk bet for the Panthers. So that'll be good for them. Next up, you have Jalen Reagor, who is moving on up. So former Eagles first rounder drew trade interest ahead of the cutdown, only to stick on Minnesota's roster despite a strong push and a crowded group. We all know that their wide receiver roster for the Vikings is insane, considering the fact that they have the league's current best for the 2022 season, Justin Jefferson. Behind Justin Jefferson, you have Jordan Addison, who was the rookie, and KJ Osborne. Reagor remains a secondary piece, but he does have a solid summer alongside newcomer Brandon Powell. Next up, Chris Jones holdout is holding strong for the Kansas City Chiefs. So Jones, who plays for the Chiefs, isn't hurt, but he's threatening to hold out for half the season. So Jones, who plays for the Chiefs, isn't hurt, but he's threatening to hold out for the half the season until he gets a pay raise and a contract year. Widely considered one of the top defensive linemen in the game, the All-Pro was officially placed on the reserve did not report list. He is set to enter the regular season and eligible to suit up for the team. Jimmy Graham is coming back to the NFL. So Graham, who is almost 37, is back to being a tight end after missing 2 years, but he made his way onto the Saints roster for the season. He had a strong preseason finale, catching jump balls from Winston, their backup quarterback. So I'm curious to see if he's going to be good or not. I mean, taking 2 years off gets kind of risky in the NFL. Now, Odell Beckham is going back to the Ravens, and he has been gone for a minute, but we will see. So now it is DTR time in Cleveland. Rookie 5th rounder Dorian Thompson-Robinson was one of the most impressive performers of the preseason, flashing dual threat abilities and extensive action. With Joshua Dobbs traded to the Cardinals and former Vikings prospect Kellen Mond also cut, he will be Watson's backup quarterback come week 1. So I'm really curious to see, what happens with the Cleveland Browns. We know that Deshaun Watson is our quarterback. How is he going to do this season? And then how is the backup quarterback going to work? So the Lions receive a secondary boost. Detroit upgraded its defensive backfield in this offseason, but now one of their top veteran additions is available to play. So the former 49ers corner, Emmanuel Mosley, is eligible to play coming off the PUP after missing the summer due to an ACL rehab. What's going to happen for the Lions? I mean, I did say that I think the Lions are going to win another division this year. So let's just see what happens. Next, you have kicker trades are on fire right now. So the NFL teams get proactive for special teams help. The Broncos' Will Lutz, Browns' Dustin Hopkins, and Titans' Nick Folk, previous Eagles kicker, are acquiring new kickers via trade. The Patriots and the Saints will now enter 2023 with rookies at the position, while veteran Brett Maher was a casualty of Denver's latest shakeup. Then we have Von Miller is still remaining on the PUP list. So the star pass rusher whose big money Bills debut was cut short due to injury will open the year on the PUP list, unfortunately. The plan was probably to always lessen his workload until later in the season. I don't have Buffalo Bills, though, winning their division. So if you haven't checked out that video, you can check that one out below as well. Then you got Dalvin Cook, who is on the New York Jets now from the Vikings, is ready to play. So the ex-Viking star finally started practicing after returning from shoulder surgery. The Jets signal he'll be ready for week 1 action by cutting reserve Zonovan Knight, who totaled 400 yards as a rookie fill-in in 2022. So I'm really curious to see how Dalvin Cook does on the Jets. I think the Jets are going to be so much more of a watch team this year now that they have so much more threatening talent. You got Jerry Jeudy could be coming back too. So the Broncos wideout recently suffered a hamstring injury and it may cost him Denver's opener and maybe one more game. He will not go on the IR list, so that would have him miss at least 4 games. So when is he going to play? I know that certain people who have fantasy were questionable about whether or not they should pick up Jerry Jeudy. So we will see. Does he come back the second week? How many games is he going to miss? I think the Denver Broncos really do need him, though, for this season. Next up, Kareem Hunt might be finding a new team. So former Browns change of pace, who remains unsigned, he visited some teams. Now, the Colts will not have Taylor to start this season, so he did visit them and the Saints. So the Colts are missing out on Jonathan Taylor. And then you have Kareem Hunt, who might play for someone to start the season, might not. It's going to be very interesting come game day. I bet you still things are going to happen before the first Sunday of football. Then you have Christian Wilkins not leaving Miami. So the Dolphins defensive lineman has failed to strike a long-term deal with the Dolphins. As teams inquired about his trade availability, the club rejected offers and so did Wilkins. He is therefore set to play in Miami as of now for the 2023 season. He's just holding out for more money, but I don't think he really wants to leave Miami. Hopefully he gets the more money. I mean, they really need to figure out a better system of how these people are paid because there's too many people that just keep holding out for money. And Joe Burrow is most likely starting week 1. The Bengals really do want him to start week 1, like for sure. So after sitting out for weeks with a calf injury, MVP star Burrow looks to be playing week 1. So the Bengals cut 2 of their backups in Trevor Seaman and Reed Sinnett, leaving only Jake Browning on the depth chart behind Burrow. So they really do need that quarterback. They really do need that quarterback to start. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much. I hope that you guys are as excited for the football season as I am. I cannot wait to do highlights, recaps. I will be doing a my play, Barbie's play of the week, every single week. My favorite play of the week. I cannot wait. Football season is my absolute favorite. I will be, if you are going to the games, please let me know. I will be at the Eagles-Vikings home opener on September 14th, and then I will be in Tampa Bay for the Eagles game on Monday, September 25th. I will be doing a in-depth video about the stadiums. Unfortunately, I don't think I can bring my gimbal from my phone in, so I will be doing it kind of like more vlog style like this, but I'm beyond excited to do the videos, show you kind of what food to eat, how much prices is, how much parking is, what is parking like, can you park, is it better to Uber? So keep in mind for that. Let me know what you guys think. Love you all guys so much. Ta-ta for now.